We thought we were ready for Malaysia until we went to the dentist and had to take our shoes off.
And then had a plastic bag of chai whilst trying to get not run over by a motorbike on the sidewalk. Here are 9 culture shocks that hit us pretty hard after moving to Malaysia from Canada.
Number 1, parking lots that test your marriage. Parking lots are not open air parking lots here.
Correct. If you guys are familiar with the old Walmart parking lot, which is like as far as you can see, flat, open.
Yeah.
We're in Canada, right? In America too, I would imagine.
Yeah.
We have big open spaces. We can build large parking lots.
Yeah.
In Malaysia, they don't have that. So everything is either underground or it's like parking garage style. And man, if you've got a large family and you have a larger vehicle, it is
rough.
very difficult. And sometimes it's so difficult you can't get in. And then you have to do the like embarrassing, put it in reverse and back up, and if there's people behind you.
Yeah, that's happened to us many times. And because we have a very large vehicle, and parking lots, for some reason, they design them to be like extra squishy here. And when you go in there, you know that your blood pressure is going to go up.
Mine especially.
Like his especially. So yeah, that part has been rough.
And sometimes those underground parking lots feel more like escape rooms than parking lots.
Yeah.
It's that traumatizing.
Yeah.
Number 2, shoes off at the dentist.
Yeah, that was strange.
Like, I get it. Shoes off at home.
But like your feet are out, and most people's feet are like gross, and so you literally take your shoes off outside and you walk inside and you're just walking around with bare feet.
Well, that's the
in
thing,
the dentist
right?
office.
Most people don't wear socks because we always wear sandals.
Yeah.
So when you don't wear socks, you're
It's
just
extra gross.
Yuck.
Yeah, I get it's a cultural thing. I totally get that, but at the same time, in my mind, I'm like, is that not more unhygienic in a way? Like
because we've had some contractors come into our house, and wow, I would have preferred them to leave their shoes on.
Yeah, to be honest, because then we had to like steam mop after. Because all you see is like black footprints everywhere, like dirt and grease, and it's not fun.
But we do get it because the Asian culture of cleanliness and respect. So we're just gonna roll with it.
But it's strange. Number 3, chai in plastic bags and the overusage of plastic bags in general for like drinks, food.
But yet we still get paper straws.
Oh, I don't get
I will
it.
sacrifice every plastic bag for plastic straws.
Yeah.
I hate paper straws.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest invention ever.
Yeah.
And realistically, I did this morning. Just Google a map of what all the airplanes in the United States right now in the air look like. And then tell me that it makes a difference if I use a plastic straw versus a paper straw, because it doesn't. Anyway.
It's rough.
But yeah, chai in a plastic bag.
Toxic. Like all I can think about is a boiling cup of chai poured into a really thin plastic bag and all the microplastics that are then leaching into the chai, and will drink it. I would never. I can't.
But one more squeeze.
I can't get past that mental block of microplastics.
One more squeeze and you're going to be wearing it as well as drinking it.
That's
because as soon as that elastic.
Oh my God.
Because they twist it and then they fold it and then they put an elastic in the top.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they'll put the straw in there as well.
Yeah.
So it's like if that elastic just goes.
Yeah. We've literally been in taxis where they'll have their drink in a plastic bag just hanging on their steering wheel.
No, from the rear view. It's like, oh, that's lunch.
That's just
different.
normal here, and it's
different.
It's just strange. It's all I can think of is like the nasty plastics just leaching into the food. And same with takeout. When you order takeout here, like everything is in these flimsy, really thin plastic like boxes, I guess, or containers, but they're like so flimsy it feels like they've melted already, like when the food arrives to your house. So it's just nasty.
Sometimes it has just melted into your food. All right, guys, number 4 is one that she has been raving about since we came to Malaysia last year, and that is QR codes for payment methods.
It's amazing. Doesn't exist in Canada. If you want to, especially when it comes to person transfer, not just like at the store, but let's say I have a gardener that just comes and I want to pay them. It's like scan the QR code, take the money in 2 seconds. It's instant.
Let me tell you
2 seconds.
Let me tell you a brief little story about how frustrating the opposite of that is. And that is e-transfers like we're used to in Canada. When I don't remember when exactly. Maybe before Yusuf was born.
It was before Yusuf was born.
We were looking to buy a rocking chair. And we didn't want to go and spend a lot on a rocking chair because we know it's only going to be used for feeding time and that's so like okay. Let's go and find one.
Yeah.
And so we went, and we got the chair loaded and everything. Okay, oh, e-transfer. And it didn't go through.
Didn't go through.
And it waited and waited and waited and waited. We canceled it, sent it again, waited and waited. I'm like literally standing there. It took probably an hour by the time we had finally, and we had to go drive all the way to the bank to get cash after canceling and then give the guy cash. It was such a frustration.
It was a headache.
As
We
opposed
live
to
in the
QR.
Stone Age in Canada when it comes to
instant.
payments.
It's instant.
It's so quick.
There's no fees involved with it.
Amazing. Okay, so we've got Yusuf with us now. So
Guest appearance. Say hi, dude.
okay, number 5. When we got our water bill, that was shocking.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, it was $3.
Pretty amazing. But when we got our electrical bill, we were equally as surprised.
Equally as surprised.
Because it was very expensive.
It was like double what we used to pay in Canada.
Mm-hmm. So here, electricity is very expensive and water is very cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. Obviously, I mean, I would assume water is cheap because it rains so much here and there's probably a lot of collection and maybe don't use as much because most places have water, freshwater collective reservoirs, which we use for like outside the house. But yeah, that was a big surprise.
That was shocking. I actually thought there was a mistake on the bill, and then we got it the next month, and it was the same. And I was like, wow, water is outrageously cheap here.
Electricity, not so much. All right, guys, number 6, motorbikes and how they play by their own rules. It can be on the road. It can be on the opposite side of the road. It can be on the sidewalk.
Cars.
It can be in between cars. One thing that is drastically different between here and Canada is motorbikes. And I've come to kind of not really care. I think that's kind of the mindset here is you just get used to it. Like back home, you'll never get passed on the left hand or like on the right hand side. You'll never get passed on the shoulder by a motorbike. You'll never have them so much. Once in a while, weaving in and out, not stopping at red lights, that type of thing. So here they're just everywhere, and because there's so many delivery options, and there's so many bikes on the road, and you get past both sides at the same time, and they get angry with you if you don't move out of the way. So just for the people who are watching who happen to ride bikes, if you're driving around my car, don't expect me to move my car to get out of your way so you can squeeze between me and another vehicle. And then don't stop and get angry with me because it might be a bigger problem for you than you think. But I'm just going to leave it there.
It's actually crazy how they just pop out of nowhere. You'll be sitting at a red light and they just blow right past you. And it's like, how are you guys above the rules?
They're not.
Explain. Because they're not supposed to do these things, but they do it anyway.
It's become a culture.
It's just,
where you just
very
kind of
shocking.
Whatever. But I mean, that is probably the reason why most of the accidents we've seen involve people that are laying on the road beside their bike with blood on them. So
I know.
Careful what you wish for.
Yep. Number 7, the 24-hour clinics and the amazing healthcare. When we first moved here, obviously, when you have change of climate and you're moving from one area to the other, you're going to get sick. And so we were pretty much sick constantly and going in and out of clinics. And we discovered 24-hour clinics here, which just don't exist in Canada. And it prevents you from having to go to the ER. And they literally can do everything. Ultrasound, x-ray, blood testing, like you name it. They can do all of that stuff in these clinics.
Yeah, I went to the doctor and I had my doctor's appointment. He gave me an ultrasound and a blood test and a urine test, all like within 10 minutes I was in and out. So pretty amazing. I mean, on a short story, we went back to our hometown in Western British Columbia a couple of years ago, and we needed to go to a walk-in clinic, and there wasn't any walk-in clinics that were open. So we literally had to go to the next town over just to get in to go and see a doctor.
The lack of doctors, the lack of healthcare access, and the fact that you can find a 24-hour clinic pretty much on every block here.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's fantastic.
And so I think that, to me, is as a father with little kids, and it's such an amazing thing that Malaysia has done with their healthcare. And I do believe they are the number 1 country for healthcare tourism in Southeast Asia now, right?
They are,
but you guys have done a phenomenal job with the healthcare. Keep it up, because the rest of the world is lacking, or at least where we're from, light years ahead.
The West needs to take notes when it comes to healthcare, that's for sure.
And probably the most surprising cultural thing that we discovered upon moving to Malaysia is Chinese New Year and the fireworks.
Oh my God. Fireworks in general for absolutely everything. It's like, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday today, so we're going to blast fireworks. Oh, it's Labor Day, let's blast some fireworks. And
It's Eid, it's Diwali, it's whatever.
but it's not just like, okay, we're okay with fireworks, but we're not okay when they go on until 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or you're in the dead of sleep in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. or something, and then they just start exploding outside your window.
Yeah.
And they're not just doing it in a field, they're doing it in front of houses.
Yeah, they're literally in the community. We'll try to overlay
insane.
some footage that we have about what this. It's wild, you
It
guys.
is.
And interestingly enough, fireworks are illegal in Malaysia to just
Yeah.
set them off on your own.
Yeah. And
Correct me
I
if I'm
looked
wrong,
at our
but-
community guidelines too, and it said the same thing.
Yep.
Fireworks are illegal.
Yep. So by law, they're illegal. And I forget who it was. Maybe our friend Iqbal was telling us, or Sinan, that it's only a recent thing where they started to allow the sale of fireworks. So it's like, why are you selling something if you're technically legally not allowed to be setting it off?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a big problem if you look at the forums and stuff online. It causes a whole lot of air pollution problems. It causes issues for the elderly with their lungs. It causes a lot of issues for the animals that are freaking out because of
Yeah.
all these noises.
It's
Problem with kids not getting sleep. It's wild.
I have a really big issue when it happens in the middle of the night. Like, okay, you do it until 10 p.m., but when you guys are doing it in the middle of the night when kids are asleep, there's multiple times where our kids would just wake up, and it's just frustrating. And I'm looking at the house across from us, just across from the lake, and I remember when Chinese New Year happened, and this house, every single person in this house disappeared for like a week.
There's a
We're
few
like,
houses
"Oh."
along here. You can tell where the Muslims
We're like,
live.
where did they go? Oh, it was because Chinese New Year, and they knew the fireworks were going to happen, so they just went on vacation.
And this community has a large Chinese population, so they were expecting it to happen, and
Now we
they
took
were
notes.
not wrong.
We're not going to be here next year.
We know what time of the year to vacation, and that is specifically during Chinese New Year.
Yeah, that was insane. And every time we complained, I remember in the community groups, we were complaining. We're like, guys, stop setting off fireworks at 2 a.m. And they're like, get used to it. I'm like, dude, it's just like common courtesy. And it's the law. Why aren't you following the law? It's just, it's frustrating.
Yeah. And what I think it should be is that each community should just get together and do a big fireworks show. Like
Yeah,
everybody,
that'd be
what
great.
time it is? Okay, the whole community can benefit. Everybody knows, because back where we're from, it's like Halloween,
Canada Day
New
or-
Year's, Canada's Day. They'll have at the city hall, or not city hall, but wherever they'll have one big fireworks display, and it was a big thing for us, especially from small towns, because that's like something to look forward to. So I think each community should take charge. But what are you gonna do? That's the culture, and we're here for it.
Number 9. The fact that the road system here, especially in the city, is as if someone took a whole bunch of spaghetti and went splat.
Yeah,
and
and then
that's just the road system.
The Google Maps guys are like, yeah, that'll do.
It's like, turn left, and then you look and you're about to turn left, but guess what, guys? There's 3 lefts.
Yeah.
It's like this, and each road is right next to each other, and you have to just magically guess which left. Is it the middle left, the left, or the right left?
Yeah. Turn left, then left,
And it's
right,
just a
left.
guessing game. You just have to just wing it.
Yeah, and it's not like, again, we're comparing cultures, right? So in comparing how things are, for us it's like roads are straight, roads are 90 degrees. If you miss an exit, it's okay. There's another one coming up soon. Take the exit, come back, and it's no problem. Here it's like you miss your exit, you're gonna tack on some serious, depending where you
10
go.
10 minutes sometimes.
10, 20, 30.
It's
it
not
can be
nice.
it can be
And if you
brutal.
miss the wrong turn and you do it again, you misjudge the turn, then you're stuck again for another 10 minutes.
I've done that multiple times in the same place, and I end up at this random bus station. I'm like, what am I doing here again? And it's like a dead end.
But it's
you gotta
not
go
just
around.
us, because you notice that people start doing U-turns around this bus
Oh,
station
yeah.
all the time because they just took the wrong turn
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, the road system
They
is a bit
didn't mean
messy.
they didn't mean left. They meant left right. But that's not an option.
But it doesn't
apparently.
tell you. That's the thing. Is like the GPS won't tell you. I know people are going to comment and be like, "Well, use Waze, use Google Maps, use this." We've tried them all. It's all the same.
Yeah.
So it's just frustrating.
I think
I guess.
by far Google Maps seems to be the best. Don't use like Apple Maps or whatever it's called, because it is terrible.
Yeah.
at it. Waze, I don't really like it because it's just too busy with all the
Yeah.
cartoon characters and stuff. Maybe it's better. I don't know. Google Maps seems to be the one.
Yeah.
But it's just dangerous because you're driving, and now what we know that it could be right, or right, second, right, third, is that you have to look at your map before and see, okay, if it's a 3 splits into 3, okay, I
Yeah.
got to take the middle one. You kind of have to spend a lot of time looking down when you shouldn't.
Yeah, that's right.
So guys, these culture shocks didn't push us away. In fact, it's actually drawn us closer to Malaysia and just kind of made us appreciate the culture that much more, and the differences that are here as opposed to where we're from. So this is not to bag on Malaysia. This is actually just us expressing ourselves as to how different things are.
Yeah.
And they're just different.
It's a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
So we thought we would share for those of you that are maybe thinking of moving here. So, and if you are interested in moving to Malaysia, we created a 100-page guide. We will link that in the description so you can check it out, because we love living here. And obviously the pros outweigh the cons. And we enjoy it. It's just a matter of getting used to the cultural stuff and getting used to living a new life here. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. And if something shocked you about moving here or living in Malaysia as well, leave that down below. We'd like to hear.
Yeah, what are your biggest culture shocks from moving from one place to the next? For sure, let us know. Because in the last video, comment section went wild with different things. So we want to hear you guys' thoughts and also your advices, because we got so many of them from the last one. Thank you guys so much. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Say bye. Say bye, everyone.